Hey all, so I'm back with another tutorial. In this tutorial specifically, I'm gonna talk about the smallest cracked 6x6 funnel door I've shown in my last video. The cave tutorial will be differently. So this door, yeah, I've already shown it, I'm gonna show it again. It's unseamless, that's like the only negative thing, aside from it being hella logs. I guess there are two negative things about this door. 588 blocks in volume. Was not an easy door to build in my opinion. Yeah. For the dimensions you will need 14 by 14 by 3, unless I am stupid, which could be the case. These are the materials you need. 2 stacks and 19 for wiring. This is the hallway. This is just like dust, and obviously like I'm gonna color code this with colors, but I've decided against like doing that because I don't think you'll care. If you will care, then I don't know, just like use whatever colors I have. Get like a stack or something of each color. Everything except for yellow, that should be plenty. I think yellow may be the only color where you will run into issues. So we're gonna go in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're gonna just build a frame of 6 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we can go up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, like this. So let's start with the layout. Bottom is the there's 4 singles. And by the way, like I should mention, you will need basically 3 on each side. So 3 on this side, 3 on the top, 3 on bottom, 3 on the other side of the hallway. So like the extra space. Yeah, 4 singles, 2 doubles and 2 triples. Sides have 5 singles and 4 doubles. Same on the other side. And top has the rest of the 6, like all the singles, so 6 singles, 2 doubles and 2 triples. So this is where the fun really starts, in a sense, because I mean, yeah, we do have quite a bit of space, but this is cracked, so that means we only use dust and repeaters and pistons only in the wiring, so no like these type of things are not allowed. So yeah, it is doable. I mean, obviously I did it, but it is not for like easy. Now the input actually will be like, we're gonna go to the left side, I guess. I mean, I probably can mirror it. I've just, yeah, I don't know, you should be able to. And like from this point in the hallway, on the left side, left top side, here you're gonna go back 1, 2, 3, and this is gonna be where the input is. Of course I forgot to get an input, like so. Now from here we will go up 3. And the thing is, this is what's a bit interesting in the store. Usually the input is just a block, right? In this case it's not really the case. We have a bit more logic, and the input is a small circuit. And I will also build this like in the wrong way, because this, like, I did bottom first entirely, sides, bottom, then I did the refiring, and then I did the top triples and doubles. So oh well, we will actually like refire this. That's what like this entire tutorial is, and we will refire the entire door once. But that also begs the question, how do you refire something only once and not have like loop, right? And we will place just a block here, because this wrap is the one that will get to regenerate the refire, just like above those doubles. And we're gonna lock it from here, from cutting out here and for again I will explain like actually like a bit more on how this works in a second. So power from here, you're gonna power via this dust, which will happen via this double, so simple enough. And this will go up here, just here. Not a wrap. I'm pretty sure it's just a no, it's also the 2-tick. Kind like, yeah, actually, no, in this one doesn't matter. So you can see how this like this line here refers once. And this may seem a bit annoying, and for the sake of, like, I will explain it now, but for the sake of simplicity, I will treat this line turning on as our, like, as 0. I mean, obviously it doesn't turn on again, like for the pulse at 0, but I think that is a bit more straightforward to explain it this way. So what happens here is that this turns on at 0 from a 2-tick rep, or like also this 2-tick. So like the longest rep, or like the rep with the most delay is a 2-tick rep. So it means we this line turns on for 4 game ticks. And that means like this travels on here, and so 8 game ticks later, this turns on in this location. And it stays on because it's a 4 game tick pulse till 12 game ticks. This one also turns on, similarly to those, after 8 game ticks, but it stays on until 16 game ticks. So that's why this doesn't power, literally, because the uncutting that, if we just unpower this, there is no pulse length that can interfere with the delays. But when it is pulses, this one just stays on longer for 4 game ticks to be precise. And that creates like this once refiring that doesn't loop. And that's pretty interesting. Now, let's get ahead with the thing, because like this is really, like, especially like also the timings are really important here. In the cave store, this won't be the case as much, but here, like, I needed a very specific timing to make bottom work. And everything else is just built around these timings. So we're gonna go up here and all the way up until like the last one, where we're not gonna do anything, and then just put this up here. Now, and this is also where the locationality comes in, because this door is sadly quite locational. Like this, shit. As well as this is very locational, and you should check if that works before trying to build it, because otherwise you'll follow this tutorial and it won't work. This is also not really a tutorial for like a survival base, or if you want to follow along, this is more of pure understanding, because I think there are some interesting things used in the store. But yeah, and let's not get ahead of this. Basically, this door is very locational. You shouldn't build it for like the sake of having a door in survival work in a specific place. This is more about how this works and maybe some interesting quirks. So we have this in this location because it needs to power the top piston first, and we have that on both sides. And we're gonna power this via this, just with some reps. Like that. Now we're gonna power the bottom. Here, this is a bit interesting, gonna leech it off of this. With a 1-tick repeater. Pretty sure, yep. That powers this. And on the other side it's a bit more interesting, I suppose, with we have a 2-tick. And we're gonna I need to fill this up, and we're gonna have this with a 2-tick here. You'll see later why this is a 2-tick. So this is right like this, yeah. Nice. This one is like this, just powers normally. This actually like butts both of them, so like they wouldn't extend properly without this update. But this does a full thing. You can see this already does quite a bit. Now let's power the top pistons. This is really interesting because we have a 3-tick here and a 4-tick here. Nice. This is actually like, for this side it's not that important, and you probably could make it work for a 3-tick. This side, it needs the 3-tick and some really annoying timings here, because, well, we need to have like 2 more pulses, right? And generating these in this space was hard. So we're gonna place some blocks like this, and we're gonna have a 1-tick, 1 2-tick. So 2 tick, I believe, yeah. And 2 tick. Now to power the bottom, we're gonna power it via this 4 tick, which we're just gonna power from here. And this all seems super straightforward, but the problem is the timing is a bit annoying because you need to have this unpower on the first unpowering early enough so it can re-grab it, but you need enough delay to with like also these to make this work. I have had a lot of versions of this specific thing. Like I'm gonna just show you this thing. So like these are some of my development versions of the one, and you can see like all kinds of different setups I had here. So just like to illustrate, this is how kind of annoying those doors can be. Also, you'll recognize the big rectangle over the chat. That's for reasons which yeah, this is not because like I'm not a staff member on Synergy. I talked about it in another video. I'm a helper, and that means that I have a bit more information, access to a bit more information, and do not accidentally leak any of that. It's not sensitive, like there's not really any sensitive information, but like better be safe than sorry. So I just covered it. Also, there were like some cases before even like me doing like helper like years ago, where somebody was annoying, and I thought like maybe it's better to just yeah, dodge these issues. Now I'll to return to this, we're gonna build the like this build. And by the way, like the just like to talk about this wiring again, because it just seems like I've thrown away some willy-nilly timings and everything works out. That's not really the case, right? The main problem is that if this repowers and not at this very right timing, then this top will piston extend, right? Because this does the whole point of it, and the locationality we use here is for this dust to power the top piston. So what we do here, how do we then reliably power the bottom piston? And that's just with the racing conditions. Basically, when this piston like this starts retracting, is like maybe like already like first 1 tick into its retraction process, then this line turns on again. So like obviously like this is already turning off, so that it's not gonna extend. And when this gets done extending, retracting, this block gets placed first before this block like returns to a normal piston state. Basically, I'm simplifying here, but it means that this piston gets processed before this piston, so this piston extends before this one has even the chance to extend it. That's what makes this reliable, but also means that we need a very specific timing for this. Yeah, that was one of the like annoying parts. Yeah, and this like 40 was just like fitting it in with this annoying timing, but also making it turn on early enough for it to like for the first part of the refiring to not fail, which was funny stuff. So we have a 4 tick here to do the same thing on the other side, and a 1 tick. Funny stuff. We'll get to this in a second, don't worry about it for now. So we're gonna have 2 4 ticks here, because this one is a bit different, because we have just a lot more space here. So this was like a solution that I just threw in because I had the space. So we have a dust line here, this things like so. We're gonna have a 2 tick, no 1 tick actually, 4 tick, 4 tick. This just refires this. You will see like this actually turns on once, like pulse twice. That's fine. So the annoying part in the top now is this piston. Like this top piston doesn't extend. Initially I was like, oh no problem, I can just leech off of here, right? I can just do something like this. I'm just gonna show you. Yes, this fixes this, but it then breaks this because this, yeah, not great. And I was like really like stuck here. I was like, why does like I finally had something that works for the triple, but now the double, the easiest thing, like the thing that never failed before and never any problems before, suddenly wasn't working anymore. It wasn't fun, and I maybe could have done something like timing wise with this to like make this work in hindsight, but I found something very elegant, which is just placing a block here. This, if you're may not like, you may see this immediately and see, oh yeah, that makes sense. If you don't, here like with this maybe it makes more sense. This dust powers this block and Q sees this, and it doesn't matter in what like piston like powers of the two from this dust. Both of them will always update this piston, and that means that the dust up here that has not influenced this piston before now influences it, and yeah, that's just how it works. And that's like where we have our double circuit, like the top double circuit, which is just literally one block. Funny stuff. So this is all done with this. We have this and this and this, I think, what's like gonna come next. We'll start with this side. Gonna start with the double snow. Where we have this dust is one input. And this powers these two pistons via this. And I guess like you could all like argue that this by then means that this like block is lime. Yeah, both are fine in my opinion. So we're gonna have a rep here and this. And this is how we're gonna power the back pistons. Nice and yeah, elegant. Now the front pistons are interesting because we need an input to power them in both locations, in the front, like when they're extended, and in the other one. And it's not as hard as it sounds, just gonna put this here, and we're gonna link this up with a rep here, vortex, and place blocks here to power them in the front location. And you see, like, extension is done. And because the pulses are too thick, and this turns only on after they are already, like this, these pistons are already retracting, and they're still on when these pistons arrive here, that's like a really easy double circuit. It's a very classic double circuit, this kind of like timing thing in cracked, where instead of like having three timings, I mean, for, what the fuck? Some weird noise outside. For like anything, because like usually you have like off, right? So what cracked always uses this, and then we have this like as a pulse, like pouring on like after with some delay, and like this is one input. I mean, I'm gonna do it with two, but yeah. And then when we pour this, both locations turn on again. Yeah, it seems a bit like overcomplicated maybe. I assure you it's not really, it's, in my opinion, it's quite the opposite. Now I'll build this side as well. It's actually simpler. I'm gonna have a rep here, two tick. This can't be a block. This actually has to be a test like this. With two reps like so, and then just gonna do this. And yeah, red, by the way, is just input distribution. Like when we just link two circuits between each other, like this, all it does is link this to the side. I don't think that's a side circuit, I think it's a linking circuit. And also red is responsible for the signals. Like most of the signals like on top, like they just get done by the circuits around them. It's not the case for all the signals, and in those cases it's just, yeah. Right. So the same thing apply here again though. We're gonna go down like this because only the top wants support. We pour this. Like I always like also this takes care of these three. And that's why we need this to be a dust, because this QCs this and this doesn't actually get powered like or from anywhere else, but it gets updated from these. For unpowering it gets like updated with the piston head, but like this is a cracked or not a zero ticked or all this shit doesn't matter basically. Like I mean it does matter on some scale, but it really doesn't. Like all that needs to happen is this turning off, and if it's updating from this dust updating the piston head, or this update getting updated from this dust, it doesn't matter, it just doesn't. Yeah. Back to rambling about this. So we have the same thing, and this was like, by the way, the first thing like I tried for the store, like this double circuit, because I thought that while like triples are obviously harder than doubles, fitting an entire double circuit in a 3-wide 6x6 really is not as easy as it sounds as well. Yeah, we can, I guess, look at this now. in a second you will see like that is like actually powers like once or more. That's with this powering on once, like twice instead of once, because it gets fired by this and then by this. In theory it would actually like power 4 times, but because of this delay being so long, I actually showed it separately because it is very, very easy. Just understand. This turns off. Yeah. So actually this turns on or like more than, not that it really matters in my opinion. Oh no, actually I do remember. I think that's because like this turns on, yes, but also like this is like gets eaten up by this. Doesn't really matter. So bottom, and the bottom is the first thing I really wired. So I'll jump like this entire bridge, and I'll just start with the inputs here because that makes more sense in my opinion. So we have this line, and this is where like things got hard and where I kind of very early on just accepted that things would be locational. Now there are ways you can even with these inputs make the door not locational, and maybe somebody else that has like is really good at cracked and has too much free time like Pixie, or somebody else that's really good can do that, because Pixie is the goat currently of cracked. So yeah, I just couldn't be bothered. Like that's like a good maybe like something to mention this at this point here. I have differing standards for different doors. For me, like a door I would build in survival, I would put more emphasis on reliability and also like resourcefulness. While for a record that is nothing but a record, I really don't care what ways, what things I would have to be used to achieve this. That's not for my doors, that's my philosophy of redstoning in general. So I don't really care that this door is locational. That's unfortunate, but it's a byproduct by pushing for sizes that are just absurd. Yeah, and the same thing goes like for like the hole that we will have in a second here, because obviously like there's a wrap down here, but we'll get to that later. So this is the inputs. This will actually start powering this, and this will be a retake wrap like this. And this is the first part. The second part will be a bit more interesting. We will have a thing here, 2 blocks like so, 2 tick. I will link this in a second. I just think it makes more sense to not do this like right now. And we're gonna have a 2 tick. And we're gonna go up here. Yeah, that's actually, yeah, no, I remember. Like so. This is and so like this link together just does everything. We're gonna but we're gonna obviously need to get a signal down here. So we're gonna have a wrap. And I'm just gonna do this. So we're like from here to get down here, because obviously like this has to happen before this, and we're gonna have a wrap. Something's off here. Am I stupid? No, I'm just a bit. We have a 1 tick wrap, and this, and this. We'll do the full extension of the triple. There's nothing else around it yet. There's still quite a bit of logic we need to fit in here, as you can see. And we're gonna actually like repower this from here, and we're gonna do this via this wrap, which we're gonna power 4 tick twice, 2 4 ticks. And with this, unless I'm stupid, which I apparently am. 1 tick. Oh, did I make this a 2 tick? Oh, I'm a silly. You can see, okay, this works. Now obviously like there's a lot of other things not working. Like actually just let me show you how much it's not working. Like double is not working, all the singles are not working. So let's do the double first. We're gonna have 2 reps like so. And then we're gonna place a block here with a wrap in here. And we're gonna put a red thingy right here for this. And while we're at it, let's also fix this, which is just a wrap here. And this does this entire side. And yeah. Yeah, this just gets done by this. Now the other side, literally, like, you can just one-to-one copy this. You have a wrap here. And we're gonna go down diagonally. In this case, like, I'm gonna just build it, like, actually with the flow. One tick wrap, 3 tick wrap, dust, wrap. Then down here, this needs to be cut, and I'm gonna go over here. One tick, this is, yeah, I'm always doing this mistake, so 4 tick, cut to this, the refiring with the vortex and doing double and this, and that should be it. I'll see the spasms a little bit more, but it works out, so that's fine. Now you can like fill in all the holes. Everything that I didn't fill in, you can fill in with literally anything, like it's transparent or not. Yeah, this is the store. I think what's like really, like sometimes a bit frustrating with doors like this is it seems like they're fitting together so well, and it's just everything goes perfectly planned and no hiccups, nothing. But the amount of work required to make something fit this nicely and to actually fit, just fit in actuality, really doesn't show in these types of tutorials. And maybe you don't understand what I'm talking about. If you're redzoner who has the tutorials about doors, they will maybe understand it better. Yeah. With that being said, I am still quite happy with the store. I mean, it's not my best work ever, but I think it's decent. It's certainly one of my better cracked doors, and yeah, I mean, it is unseamless and it is locational, but this is a size record, not a elegance record, so I do not care. Yeah. If you found this interesting, let me know, I guess. I'll make more. I just really like cracked. Cracked is in my one of the funnest and most interesting like restrictions in my opinion. I don't know, I just like doing it. And yeah, I have more drops planned. Yeah, I really need to get like get back into the like recording videos. It really shows that I haven't done it in a while. But yeah, I guess that's it for this video. Hope you had fun, hope you learned something, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!